Remember how I say an adventure is what you get when you didn't get what you planned for? We didn't plan to not make it to Texas. But here we are in Vidalia, Louisiana. And that's not even my truck that I'm showing you right now. Let's get into it. We left Huntsville, Alabama. We were headed towards Livingston, Texas to do all of the things that RVers need to do when you get started. First off, get rid of state income taxes by moving to a state to domicile in that doesn't have state income taxes. That was going to be Texas for us. We didn't quite make it. We stopped in Huntsville, Alabama for the Huntsville Ham Fest. We stayed at Montesano State Park. Fantastic week that we spent up on top of the hill. Weather was great because it cooled off on top of the mountain for us very nicely and got to hang out with a whole bunch of friends. There is a video on my ham radio channel up here that you guys can take a look at for all the fun that we had while we were at Montesano. Old boy is getting after it. That's the road to the levee up there. And the levee is directly behind our campsite, which is directly adjacent to the Mississippi River. Great campsite so far. After we left Montesano State Park, we headed towards Deer Lick. And it was a quick overnight. This was a great campsite. I really enjoyed the way this one was all laid out and some of the amenities that they had here. Just a very beautiful site to kind of relax in the shade. Unfortunately, we only stayed one night, so I can't really tell you much more about other than this is what it looked like, and we'll probably come back. From Deer Lick Creek Campground, we went to Lake Lincoln. Lake Lincoln was a state park. This was another campsite in the middle of nowhere. This one had zero internet, zero cell phone, zero anything. Luckily, we were only staying one night, and for some reason, this campground was about 10 degrees hotter than the surrounding area. I don't know what it is about weather this summer, but it is crazy hot, which is probably why we're stuck in Louisiana right now. From Lake Lincoln State Park, we were supposed to be headed towards Sandy Creek in Jasper. I think it's Jasper, Texas. We didn't quite make that one because my truck decided to eat a water pump. This fan-looking thing on this water pump is not supposed to look like this. It's supposed to have very defined edges, not very ragged edges, and it's actually supposed to have a turn-up on each one of those blades to help move the water through the system. It was fine at anything below 80 degrees Fahrenheit outside, but once the temperature started to climb, this thing didn't really have much ability to pump water through. And all the parts that are missing off of that fan blade are somewhere inside the rest of the engine. So we stopped at Lakeside Ford, which just happened to be right on the side of the road that we were driving on. And they were kind enough to give us a loaner truck while ours was in the shop. And that loaner truck got us to the campsite that we're staying at, but it broke down too. It's hard to get good parts these days, and the fuel filter that they got had a crack in it. They brought out another vehicle for us to borrow and took the F-250 back, and we are happily stranded at this beautiful campsite here in Vidalia, Louisiana. We're enjoying some of the local food. Vidalia is right across the bridge from Natchez, Mississippi, and Natchez has a lot of history and a lot of great food to eat, and we really enjoyed this one place called Pedro's. The hostess didn't speak any English, the waiter barely spoke any English. We did not get what we ordered, but we did not have any problems with the food that showed up. I have no idea how long we're staying here, but we're going to make the best of it. This is one of those things. This is the in-between time. This is the part that makes the journey fun, and I am actually kind of enjoying it. The same thing could have happened if I was driving to my normal 9-to-5 day job from my sticks and bricks back up in Wisconsin. Probably wouldn't have noticed the heat problem so much, but you know, your car can break down at any time, and when you're on the road, you find out just how nice humanity is, and it's a nice change to run into some nice people. We're stuck at a wonderful campground. We're stuck with a wonderful car. We're in a wonderful area. That's all we were going to do anyway, was go from one nice area to another. So I don't see this as any kind of a problem. I see this as a fantastic story to share with y'all. And I'm glad you came along to listen to it and go along for the ride. Stay tuned for next week's update, where we show some things that happened in the Natchez and Vidalia area, and some of the food that we enjoyed, and whatever else this trip has to offer, because it ain't over yet. We'll see you there.